Tech Now TV. So today we're gonna continue with our tutorials, and for today we're gonna look at how to implement optional default parameters in that functions. Okay, so let's get started. But before that, if you are new here, kindly subscribe to our channel and also hit on the notification bell. What we do here is to take a lot of tutorials for coding and also tech tricks and also how to use real tech and also internet to make some money. All right, so today we're gonna look at this uh parameters, right? But this is gonna be optional parameters in that function. Optional parameters in that function, so we can make it maybe optional or default what. Let's do it in default parameters in that. Okay, good. So let's get started. Now we have our main function here. Let's have a user defined function so that we will know how to actually implement this optional or default parameter. So let me start with a function. The function name will be get volume. So get volume, yes, with no attached type. Get volume. Okay, good. And that is the function name, and then we're gonna have the parameters in here. We have int length. We're gonna calculate volume, so we need the length, and then we need int breadth. Okay, breadth, like this, and then we add the height. Okay, so int height here, perfect. Okay, so now let me open the bracket here. Okay, so inside the bracket we need to print out these ones. Okay, so first let's print out length. So we begin with length is, and we use the interpolation to call the value in the parameter. So we say length, yeah, this one, exactly this should be here. Okay, perfect. Then it should be in a bracket. Okay, good. So bracket, perfect, and then I terminate it. Okay, so let's repeat this, and then we change the values. So the second one is the breadth. Okay, second one here, like this, and then here is the breadth, and then we have the height. Okay, so height here, and then this is what height is, blah blah blah. All right, good. So we have this. Let's run. What happened? Nothing happens. Boom, we're getting an error. Yes, because we have not called the function in the entry point of the program. So how do we call the function? We need to call the function name, simply calling this one like this here, and then this will be changed into values like 2, and here will be 3, and let's say here is 5. Yes, then I end the statement. Okay, then I run this. Okay, I'm still getting an error, so I need to print this empty string here. Okay, oh no, good. Let's try this. Okay, since we are going to implement the we are going to implement this default parameters, let us use the default. We have get volume. Okay, let us use how to wrap around this word. this default what? This is crazy. Okay, I'll change this. Oh, height, okay, height, breadth, okay, good. Then we can take, let me, okay, then we have this, okay, showing. Then we can print this using the empty printout. Okay, good. So we have these values showing on the screen because we only what we only added these parameters to the function call. All right, so we want to look at how to actually uh, implement the default or optional what parameters in that. Okay, so first, this is how we do it. We need to wrap around this particular what parameters, depending on which parameters we want it to be set to default, and then we can wrap around those parameters. So we can decide to wrap around all the parameters or one or two. So let's use two as an example. So because it's a default parameter, it means it needs to be assigned to what? A figure. Yes, user defined figure here, and then this will automatically be what assigned to parameters whenever this is executed. So if we clean this and then we leave only two in the function call, it's supposed to run because it has a default what assignment to the parameters here. All right, so this is actually what the default value is coming from the action below. So the other values is assigned. Yes, it's assigned below. So the other value is assigned below. Okay, so that's why we only pass in two. So 2 is equal to this length, and these are automatically manually assigned here, so it prints out this correctly. Okay, so what if we want to print out this volume here using the print? So let's say we have another print here, and then we will say volume is, so let's do this, volume is length times breadth. So this one should be inside the curly braces here, and then we will say length times what? Length times breadth times height. Okay, so breadth come here, let breadth be here, no double r, breadth. Okay, then times height. Okay, make sure this is the same, otherwise it might give you error. Okay, good. So how do we print the volume? Okay, so good. So now we have the print volume is length and breadth and height. So this times this times this will give you this. All right, good. So let's look at the other one, the use of name parameters for the default values. Good. So we can also override these values by assigning the value to a function call. So this we want to what? Override the default. Want to override the default what? The default values in the parameter. The default value stored in the parameter stored. Okay, in the parameter. Okay, good. So how do we do that? It's very simple. We use the name, we call it the naming parameter. So if you want to override, you need to use the same logic as the naming parameter by calling the name of this. So for example, this, we can call the name of this like this here. Then we can assign it to probably 12 instead of the 10. Then the next one we can call this as well here, and then change the value here. So let's say this is 45. You get it. So this is overriding what the default what assignment you have done here, that is the 10 and the 25. And in the function call, we called what we called the breadth to be equal to 12 and then the height to be equal to 45. So this will automatically override the one beneath. Good. So let me see. uh we should change this. The equal to should be what, a column instead of equal to. So use column here, don't use equal to. Equal to is the default below, so like this. Okay, so this is, should work perfectly. Okay, so as we can see, this has override the 10 and the 12. So the 10 and the 12 is printing up here because we call that here, right? And then here the second one, the 2 displayed and the 12 override the 10 and the 45 override the what, the 25. And then the volume will be what, 1080. Boom. So this is the end of this video. So this video basically talk about how to what, how to implement default or optional what parameters in that function. Peace, we are out. Kindly subscribe and also hit the notification button for our next videos. Peace.